And with that, folks, we're in to game 2 between Hellraisers and Vega Squadron. An excellent showing by both teams, I would say. Lost match. I was pretty dang impressed. So, expecting great things here. PQMZ, do you think they need a change?
Well, the draft is the exact same for the first three, except it's been role reversal. Vega have the Dazzle Slardar and Dooms over on Hellraisers. They opt to deviate away from the draft and pick up a Lich instead.
Now this is kind of funny when your opponents do the same draft you just did. It's kind of like if you just lost with it, it's kind of like maybe Vega's like HR will show you how it's done. Which is pretty.
I tried doing that in some scrims once, but it felt really bad. But the Dazzle Slardar is just a super solid opening against Doom, I think. So
yeah.
HR and Vega are obviously on the same page.
Yeah. And then, as you said, the Lich follow-up, really nice to have, because the Lich, of course, will give you some armor. The Doom, rocking the 0.7 armor at level 1. Oh, yeah, that feels good. So, making sure he gets some sort of backup after you're gonna have weave and amp damage on you. It will be nice. And the Batrider ban out. Okay, HR really, really highly prizing this hero.
I'm not sure if Vega... I know Mag can play it, but I'm presuming Mag's on the Slardar, so I'm kind of surprised, because it doesn't seem like a no-one hero. I could be wrong, though.
It's certainly not on the list I have of, when I pulled up his, like, that Dota. It's not in his most played heroes, but you never know. Certainly could be something, maybe they've been practicing it in scrims, you know? So
yeah, I actually kind of hate saying the term "it's a someone hero" because casters have started doing it, and I'm following the trend. But it's like I'm sure he can play whatever hero his team needs him to play. He just has his preferred style, so I'm sure he could play it regardless.
It feels like no one's preferred style is pretty much kill everyone as well. He plays very aggressively on all of the heroes I've seen him on. Either way, it's Vega's turn to pick. The AA, they've banned it out themselves.
10 seconds remaining.
It could mean that they're lining up for maybe a Huskar. Maybe an Alk.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think Huskar's the best into Doom. Maybe an Alk could work, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Tusk, though.
Dire team pick.
Certainly always an all-around great hero. And they have a bunch of different people who can play this Tusk on Vega, so not sure. Yeah, they sometimes play it on the off lane, but it can also go to one of their supports. I think that Seema plays a bit of Tusk as well. So nice and flexible here. I kind of assume it's a Mag Slaughter, but we did just see a core one. So maybe it's actually a Mag Tusk and that's a core Slaughter. Who knows? I love the flexibility coming out of this draft.
Well, you do see Pasha's picture, right? His profile.
Oh yes.
Maybe he's like, team, it's mine. Back off.
Yeah, but then that would mean that no one plays like only Phoenix, you know?
Well, that's not a Phoenix picture, right? That's just...
It looks like a Phoenix. Maybe it's just a dude with wings. I can't tell. It kind of looks like a Phoenix. Caw-caw!
I
But
think
who
it's
knows?
a dude with wings.
Dude with wings. Oh, foiled again. Always a dude with wings. So, either way, we're gonna be seeing whether... And Hellraisers here, I think you're in a pickle. You mentioned that it's not so great to pick up the Huskar, but I think Hellraisers have to be aware that this is potentially coming out.
As much as I said it's not great to pick it up, it's still a really annoying hero to deal with, so maybe they try to draft around it.
Yeah, and I think if you know what's coming out with the Huskar, you can certainly try to do a few things to save your team, but he is such a pain in the ass to kill. Takes reduced magical damage. You're going to have to be good against him physically. You've already picked up a Doom Lich Disruptor. They're not exactly heroes that bring a lot to the table when it comes to physical damage.
Yeah, and Disruptor's also not great against him, so if they do want to pick it up, it's only the Doom they particularly have to worry about right now. Maybe something like a TA coming out could be a problem.
Yeah, and that's actually something they play a bunch. That's another issue I find. Sometimes when your team is able to pick up the kind of surprise TA and you don't feel like you have a response to it, can definitely wreck up your lineup. We also don't... Okay, no, never mind. That was the first ban. I was like, has Mag had his heroes banned out yet? And yes, his Broodmother. first round ban from Hellraisers.
He manages to take one hero and just kind of make it banned against him.
I think he's considered the best broodmother in the scene right now. I could be wrong. But
He's definitely up there
yeah,
on terms of what he can do with the hero.
yeah. So very
I miss his
solid.
Centaur days.
You mean the days when all he got to play was Centaur? Yeah, it is the Templar Assassin from Vega Squadron. No one hero, if I've ever seen one. This guy has played quite a bit of TA as well. So, almost as much as his SF. But yeah, they used to... I remember when Mag, like, a couple... Maybe probably over a year ago now, when he stood in for C9 and all they let him play was Centaur.
I have a feeling that was just... It worked well with their drafts, and they kind of accommodated as much as they could to Mag.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure how good his English was at the time. From what I understood, it was
5 seconds
good enough.
remaining.
Yeah,
But
that could
putting
have
him
also...
up hero would help.
As you said, that could be a factor. Like, look,
Reserve
let's just
time.
put you on a hero you like, and yeah.
Vega
So, I actually think Vega
Squadron's
Squadron
turn
have a
to
couple
bat.
nice things here to try to deal with Templar Assassin coming out of the Disruptor, and Razor will certainly... I mean, Razor's a lane winner.
Yes, he is, but at the moment his supports aren't the best at
10
helping him
seconds
out,
remaining.
and if the TA gets level 6 and the Tusk rotates in,
5
or if she gets a
seconds
lucky
remaining.
rune before level 6, Razor can be kind of susceptible to
Dire team back.
getting ganked here, and if he falls behind, then TA can definitely run over him.
Yeah. So, TA...
I like Link
Vega
as well.
Squadron's turn
You
to
like the
pick.
Clink span out?
Yeah, I think it's a really good hero with what Vega have right now.
I would agree, lots of physical damage, and also Clink's, you can build him, it's not as good with the nerfs to Solar Crest, but the Clink Solar Crest build was popular for a while. Let's add in Slaughter and Meld Strike. Like, they would have no armor on Hellraisers despite the Lich.
10 seconds
Yeah, and
remaining.
also it's really good at killing both the supports. But unfortunately it's not going to be in
5
this game,
seconds
so we'll see
remaining.
what Vega opts for instead.
So. And the Gyro ban out,
Reserve time.
familiar hero for Havost. Kind of funny, maybe not one that we consider to be the strongest. So,
It's not had the best run in our games recently.
no, oh goodness, the Gyrocopter has been having a...
At least it wasn't first pick, you know? At least these teams understand.
Just for background, folks, we costed some stall ladder yesterday, and I believe Jug, that's cool. Both times, what was their team name? They were against Monkey Business. Stark picked Gyro first round, and it didn't work out for them. But they were also against OG, which is a very strong team. We got a Juggernaut. We've been seeing a lot more Juggernaut play recently. Do you know why that is? It feels like the hero was good during the spin to win patch, and recently a lot of teams picking him up.
I think, this game, he's good
10
against Doom
seconds
because of the
remaining.
healing ward. If anyone gets doomed, you just click the healing ward on them, they kite away, they
5
can come back
seconds
15,
remaining.
20 seconds later at full health, or at least not dead. Also, Lich and Disruptor,
Reserve
if he can
time.
manage to get the spin off, he doesn't have to worry about either of those heroes. Razor's kind of annoying, but if you burst him down with an Omni Slash or something, then he's not a problem either. I think it just adds to what they have already. It's a good hero to take Roche, it's a good hero to push towers, and most importantly, I don't think it worries too much about Doom Lich in the lane.
Yeah. So, chat's like flaming me for claiming that Mag is one of the best brood mothers. They're like, there are other good brood mothers. I'm like, yes.
He's definitely up there. Like, he's not the only hero that can, guy that can play the hero.
Yeah, we didn't mean that at all, folks. We just meant that he's very strong, and I think he's kind of the one that a lot of other people based themselves. Or you look at his.
10
I've heard people say that they've looked at how Mag plays Broodmother, and it's a clockwork, a very comfortable offlaner. Bit rough. I mean, he'll pick up
Focus is
the.
Doom.
Oh, it's a position 1 Doom. That is funky. I think it's a little rough here, though, to be a clockwork, because I'm concerned about how many kills you'll actually get. Sure, if you hook the Dazzle, but there's snowballs that can bypass that terrain.
Yeah, I really am not sure why they opted for the clock this game. I much prefer what Vega have. And as you said, he can maybe kill the Dazzle on his own. It still takes a while to kill the Dazzle. Tusk can get out of it. Sladder's generally tanky enough. TA might be an option if you can catch him,
Yeah.
like far enough away from his team.
The other thing I'm a bit worried about is with a core Doom. Yes, Razor has heaps and heaps of physical damage output. Okay, I have the Storm, all of the rest of Razor's toolkit, fantastic. That's all you have though, and you're versus a Juggernaut, a Templar Assassin, and a Slaughter who's going to be buffing them up. It just feels like HR might eventually lose the damage wars.
Yeah, I think it's harder for them. Again, they drafted themselves into a position where I think they have to out-execute Vega. Vega just kind of have to have the game not go completely horribly for them to be able to win. And the TA opting for boots against the Razor, which it's been a long time since I've seen this.
I like it. You want to make sure you get out of there, and I have no idea what they're saying. I assume EXO, either he knows an ox named Lena, or he's saying hugs and kisses to someone named Lena. I really hope he's not calling someone named Lena an ox. That would be really sad. Anyway.
I wish I could read Russian. It would make this game so much more entertaining.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, they're probably actually telling us, like, really in-depth. They're probably explaining their pick. No, they're probably just having a bit of a go. All of these players know each other super well. Either way, we've got Goddamn playing up on that Lich, Alpha Ninja on Razor, Shocklow on Clockwork, leaving us with Disruptor on CO, and Havost. That's not Havost. Havost on the position 1 Doom. He has been in the scene for ages, so I feel like if anybody knows how to play this position 1 Doom, Havost might be one of those.
I think he was one of the guys who always went to it when it was a thing as well. Over for Vega, we've got Seema playing the Dazzle, Tusk being played by Solo, and they're actually smoking up now together with Pasha on the Juggernaut, Mag on the safe lane Slider, and no one on the mid TA.
Do you think they're going for an early kill here? Like, I don't think I've seen a smoke at this time in the game. Normally we see it before the 0-0. I don't think I've seen one just for first blood like this. And they're gonna catch CO. They have to know he's here. Oh goodness, no. Now they're finding Doom, but Havost, he might just be able to walk this off. Can Pasha Bashu get enough damage? And no, he backs out. Oh, thank you, Skype. Excellent. We're just gonna... We're having some technical difficulties, as all of you may be able to hear. I'm gonna see if PQ is, Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why the call dropped. Either way, they've whiffed the first blood, and now down bottom looks like Shocklow and Mag exchanging some blows. I'm gonna try to make sure I get PQ back. His internet died. Excellent. Always good when that happens. So he'll be right back. Hopefully, folks, and we'll just solo cost for a little bit. In this mid lane, it's looking like Alpha Ninja having a bit of the advantage. I kind of expected this, especially as he gets more... He's taking more harassment from those side blades, but as he gets more points into this static link, I think you can very easily outlast hit No One. Although No One, taking advantage of Alpha Ninja's aggressive play and doing so much work, has the refraction charges, repops them. This could be Alpha Ninja being our first blood. He salves up, he's getting away, and No One doesn't have the refractions for another few seconds. And let's see... Alpha Ninja juking around the corner, getting away. So, well played there from Alpha Ninja. And we've got Shocklow just being a real pain in that bottom lane. I think this one will be pretty even. While the Slaughter can output a lot of damage, and maybe you have the same from Clockwork with Battery Assault, you're not going to catch the Slaughter with the Sprint. And you're not going to catch the Clockwork as easily just because he has those cogs. Can Lich set up anything? Looks like we've got our co-caster back. I'm assuming your mic is, or your internet's back. Or not, I say, to the silence. I think... Hello? Hello? Oh no, he's... Okay, he is internet connection again. We're just gonna keep costing the game. I'll see about getting him back in there, but we missed first blood due to all the technical issues. Always feels good. I was saying that I don't think HR would be able to, that Shocklow would be able to get this first blood in this lane, but I'm not so sure. How you doing, PQ? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm just getting into Dota now. Unfortunately, my computer's blue screening for random reasons, so I think I'm gonna have to reinstall some Windows later.
No worries, we got a gank going in on the top lane. Goddamn, he's being spun on. It doesn't save you, but the tower doing a lot of damage. And Pasha Bashu, I think he's just gonna go down. Goddamn, getting the return kill, even though magic ignores minus armor, but Goddamn's gonna be very happy about that. So Yeah, as long as you're back, once you're back in, you can take a look at what happened. We had an interesting thing where the Clockwork managed to pick off Mag on the Slaughter in the bottom lane. I really wasn't expecting that. It feels like you can sprint away from that, but I'm guessing he got caught out in the cogs.
Was it like level 3 or something where he had level 2
No, I
battery
completely whiffed it. I was trying to get you back in the call. I whiffed. So
I'm gonna guess that's just what happened, which is definitely an option for the clock if the Sladder oversteps.
Yeah.
But I feel like you should be able to kill the cogs, 'cause it's only 2 hits. He must have been really low or something.
So,
This loading screen is taking forever.
Of course. It's first load of the day, don't worry. When you get back in, I want to ask you about this Templar Assassin Razor matchup. I feel like Razor should certainly have the advantage, but Templar Assassin feels...
Holy shit. That is not the amount of advantage I would expect.
Yeah, it is 19-17 for the Razor to Templar Assassins 5 and 4. She went for an early kill on to Afaninje and just wasn't able to seal the deal.
Did he start with boots or the Wraith Band on Razor? Unfortunately,
No,
I
he
didn't
started
get
with
to
just the Wraith Band. He did not start with boots on Razor.
Okay, then I think that's just a misplay on no one's part to let him get this far behind.
So, yeah, and as we can see, no one 8 and 5 versus the Razors 20 and 17. No one is not having the delightful game we're used to seeing. And Razor's just bottle crowing because he's actually taking quite a bit of Sideblade damage, but constantly not going down. And oh, a nice shot slightly off the mark. Bashu taking crap tons of damage up in this top lane. He is being harassed, to put it lightly.
Yeah, I don't think there's much kill potential on the side of Hellraisers for Vega.
Yeah, speaking of kill potential, Vega, they're spinning, they're going in. I don't think they know who they want to go on, and again, Bashu's taking the tower. Vega solo is going to go down. One more auto attack and the tower's got this, and another overextension in this top lane. This tri-lane from HR is doing work.
I really don't understand how Vega think that's a good idea. That's like the one way HR win that lane, I think. But then I guess if you're playing really passive and you're just sacrificing the creeps, you're getting the natural advantage anyway, so maybe Vega feel really forced to try and get some kills.
Yeah, it could be that they expected this lane to be a kill lane and they're just not having it latched. They're not going in on her boast, but will it be enough damage? They have a snowball follow-up. They should have the auto attacks here, but TP rotations, Clockwork thinking about coming in, and guess who has hookshot? Seema the Slayer getting hookshotted down, and he's probably going to get picked off on the back lines there. Havost for Seema, you're probably happy about that, but you're also happy as the Clockwork here because you got to use your first hookshot very well, and now Tusk maybe in a bit of a bad spot, but actually it's Afaninje who's in trouble. He's gonna fake a TP out and the haste away from Templar Assassin, who realizes she can't fight there.
If the Razor managed to pick that haste up, I think the TA was in. He should have had to TP out for sure.
Yeah.
So kind of lucky he got that.
So Sharklow's now been at the top lane for quite a while. How do you feel about that? I mean, I think it's good to use your first hookshot. They've kind of rotated Havos down bottom, but now he's a level 4 Doom going up against a levels... Maybe, are you level 7, Mag? Level 6,
level
almost 7. Yeah, just hit the level 7. And I think it's a bit disadvantageous for Doom here.
Yeah, I like the fact he TP'd up, but the fact he only got the 1 kill just doesn't make it worth it because the amount of space you're giving Sladder. And now Doom's in a position where he's just Sladder's, like, punching bag. There's not much he can do in this lane. He'll be able to devour a few creeps and get a few CS, but he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So, looking a bit rough. Now, this Razor, we've talked about it already. He's huge. Do you think, is it just a Sanj and Yasha early game? And speaking of, oh, the ice shot's just off the mark, not able to make it latch. I was going to say, if Razor gets up an early Sanj and Yasha, maybe good, but I wouldn't be against a mech just to give your team early teamfight potential.
I think if he goes mech, they have to get a lot done with it. So that's a team decision. If they want to try and exploit a window where they feel Vega is weaker than them, then he'll go mech. But I would much prefer to see like a more standard treads drum maybe into SNY. Just because then it makes him scale better, and they need that this game.
Yeah. So, Bashu. They've rotated, both teams have rotated their tri-lanes, and in mid, looks like they're going for a go onto no one. I don't know how well the Clockwork can make this happen, though. Do they actually have some dust between them?
I think they know he doesn't have meld skilled, because it's fairly common for TAs to just go for the 4-0-2 build now.
Would you really risk it though? Or do you just assume that he doesn't have meld and you'll be fine? And the TP out, Pasha Bashu knew people were coming to kill him, and I don't see a ward on the ground, but just game sense, deciding that Havost is playing way too far up.
You can actually check just by checking her range what level the side blades are. So you can know for sure.
Okay.
It's not something people do that much, I don't think, but you can definitely
Dire's
find out.
middle tower is under attack.
And
And you
suddenly,
might just have a feel for it as well when you're laning against him. Like, that side blade's hitting me really far out, he must have leveled it.
Radiant's
also it's something where I think if you play against this guy really commonly, you probably know their preferred builds, and you can get into their head a little bit. I think you can do this with item pickups as well. So Havost may be thinking of an early Vlad's, maybe this ring of Bassi, the Bassi ring is just for funsies, but they're getting an early tower push off the back of it for HR, and I really like this play. At the same time,
fallen. Dire's
CO
top tower is under
hiding up top, only level 5, really wants that level 6, could get a lot more work done. And we've got mass TPs coming in. Here comes the Clockwork, isn't actually going to be in. The Snowball onto the creep so he doesn't get glimpsed back. A nice play there. But over here, we do have Clockwork catching out the Slaughter, and Mag is taking a lot of damage. He's just going to go down. There's no way out here. And so Mag falls to the lineup of HR, and it is 2-5. HR having a bit of a gold, well, I think 3,000 at 9 minutes, pretty good. But more importantly, the experience lead, just meaning that the heroes will be a little bit further ahead when it comes to items and skills.
Yeah, I think this is expected for them. This is what they want to have happen in the draft, and they're trying to contest the TA Ancients now.
Oh, Lich actually got the last hit on that big creep.
Yeah, it's a really big deal if you can get the bigger ones. The small ones are still decent, but for the time invested, you want to be able to get the big ones as well. Razor's getting the dragon as well, so it's nice that they didn't just give it away for free.
Yeah, I really like that he used Eye of the Storm there. I think sometimes you might think it's a waste, but whatever, he managed to stop that. And on the top lane, they kill off the Tusk lickety-split.
Yeah, first Doom getting dropped. Really slow level 6 as well from Havost.
Yeah, he was in that tri-lane. I didn't expect him to get a bunch, and they really did. They ran the tri-lane. They all were present because there was so much aggression coming out of Vega that really did get punished.
Yeah, it feels really weird though to see like the Disruptic just being below the Doom and Lich also being really close. You generally see a bigger disparity. Mag's in some trouble.
Yeah, looking like we've got some action in that top lane. And see what they can do. They managed to get the Slitherine Crush onto Shaklo. Here comes the Snowball as well. Can Doom get any sort of help? He tries to hookshot away, but it is not enough. And yeah, now maybe they'll catch out Havost. He's using that Scorched Earth to see if he can just walk it off. But there's the Juggernaut ult, and that's going to be a very dead Doom. Returning to hell and back, to hell and back. Doom doesn't actually talk about going to hell.
No, but he is Doom and 666 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You can't shake off a
Dire's
Juggernaut
top
ulti with
tower
amp damage.
is under attack.
Melted.
Indeed.
Dire's
So,
structures
they're going to get themselves that top tower, a nice exchange after they lost bottom, and no one working his way desperately back into this game with ancient stacks, with everything else his team will give him. So maybe the tower lost hit. Nope, Son Mag.
Dire's top
So
tower has fallen. Radiant's
Halfway to
middle
his blink
tower
as well
is
now.
under attack.
now
On the Slider.
on item builds, Juggernaut, of course, you can't spin off the static link. It looks like he's going for the drums. Do you just Sanj and Yasha up, hope that you can be lickety-split moving in and out of Razor when he static links you and so on?
Yeah, I'd like to see the S and Y. Just
Radiant's
good
middle
fighting
tower
items,
is
I
under
think, are
attack.
the pace of the game for the Jug. I wouldn't like to see the Battle Fury that we've seen people been going for recently. I think that's more of a China thing.
Yeah, I think also it's something where in the games where we had seen the Battle Fury, in at least 2 of them, it had been very clear to the team that picked up the Battle Fury on Jug that they were only winning late game, if at all. So I think the Battle Fury pickup there making a lot of sense because they knew they had no hope except in late game. So nice plays there, but Clockwork, he's getting close. He's almost got, this is really nice timing on a Blade Mail, considering some of the other unfortunate games we've seen with Clocks. And Doom actually now also going to pick up his drums, trying to, also, he sees this gank coming, so. How do you feel about Doom position 1 itemization? I feel like you probably want to blink to go around be dooming people, but maybe also wanting that Ags so you're impactful, or maybe just skip the Ags, get a refresher, take out 2
Dire's
heroes.
middle tower is under attack.
I think the drums is nice just to give you the mana pool as they managed to find Slardar bottom with the rocket and they drop the Doom.
And they also catch out Solo. Seeing him with the kinetic field, he's gonna try to roll away, but there are too many heroes. He's inevitably gonna fall. Can he get the creeps? No. It's very hard to deny yourself to those creeps, but it would have been amazing if he could.
Yeah, realizing the situation he's in and going for the Hail Mary play.
I was a bit surprised they both stayed around for so long, but I think the TP on Slaughter was on cooldown. Tusk could have used his, not quite sure why he didn't.
I didn't really see how the Tusk got caught, but I guess just save your friend syndrome.
Yeah.
I actually tried to glimpse the TA, but she hastes away.
Very lucky that she had that haste rune. I think she would have gotten caught in that kinetic field for sure without that haste rune. But they get the tower deny, and I think that's a pretty big play, and nobody caught out by the ice shards just means Vega can't use any sort of follow-up.
It's nice that they opt to defend that tower, and as you say, the TA not getting caught there was unfortunate for HR, but there's no way she would play like that if she didn't have the haste rune, I feel like.
Yeah. You've got to understand that these are very experienced players, as we said, and I agree with you. I don't think she would make that type of mistake. We've got a smoke up on Dazzle. They actually have 2 more in stock for Vega. It's something, though, where I feel like you have to wait until Slaughter gets the blink. I guess you can sprint up to people out of smoke to get a gank.
Yeah, Omni Slash is also not too bad. They have the traps or the ice shards to be able to stop people running away from you. So it is doable, but I agree. The blink makes it all a lot easier. And unfortunately, Solo's missing on. He finally finds a ward that's blocking the Ancients.
Yeah, it's
3
always
attempts.
hard to get those spots. Yeah, he's got 3. He's even got another one over here. That's, though, for this area. And there's going to be another push coming out of HR. Understanding now why Havost was going for the drums, going for the bass. He just wants to make sure his team can group up and push and everybody benefits. So, easy tower for them. I might not be surprised if after the Sanjan Yasha, Alpha Ninja goes for an Aghanims. They've got the glimpse back on Havost with the Static Storm up top. Can CO hold him in place for long enough for his team to catch in? Havost, he does have the sprint. He's popped that. Maybe they can cut him off, though. Alpha Ninja is a race car himself with that unstable current. And there is a Lich coming around from the sidelines. The sprint is getting close to ending. Can't goddamn do anything. The Slithering Crush, but the glimpse is there. Havost, I think, is going down. And will whoever came in to help him, will Seema the Slayer go down as well? Templar Assassin might be coming in. The immediate TP out, but it's stopped by the Lich ulti mini stun on that. And he's gonna burn down. Now no one, not in a great spot, doesn't have mana for refractions. And I think no one does pop his wand. Is gonna be burned through really quickly, though. Finally has a point up in Meld. He actually pops himself out of it. Here comes a snowball onto Alpha Ninja, but it is too late. Templar Assassin is dead, and I think this tower gonna follow. They're still diving, and Alpha Ninja very low. He needs some backup from his team. He's taking a lot from the tower. Really surprised here that he's comfortable going in that deep with 0 bottle charges, but it looks like things are finally gonna slow down. A huge
And
big
he gets
kill.
the regen rune.
What?
He's so happy
Oh,
right
he
now.
picks it up. Yeah, I was like, his bottle's empty. What are you on about? But yeah, he picks up the regen rune. He's using it. He's coming back in. He's trying to zone them. Maybe he can actually bait them in a little bit farther. But no, that was an Omni Slash, and that is Lich going down. Goddamn, may have played well in that early engagement, cutting off Havost, but getting Omni Slashed isn't really something in his control.
You keep calling Mag Havost. Just want to point that out before Twitch
Oh yeah,
goes mad on
oops,
you.
oops, because he's on the Slaughter. Ma.
Easy mistake to make when you go from game to game, right?
Yeah, totally, guys. Totally a mistake. No, I just want to say Havost a lot. I just want to show that I can pronounce the word. I still actually am pronouncing it wrong, I'm pretty sure. I believe in Russian... They're just... I'm not pronouncing it at all with the correct accent, but it is what a lot of
Just
the
call
English
him
practice.
Xbox. That's good enough.
Well, it may be good enough for some. We try here. We try to get it right. And they're getting themselves a nice early Roshan. This lead for HR, 5,000 net worth, 4,000 experience. They're doing really well, although last game they were doing really well. They actually smoke out of the Roshan. There's no Omni Slash here, and they get the Static Storm off into Pashabashu and the Doom. This is looking like a very in the danger zone Mr. Juggernaut, but at the same time, Solo on the back line. He's being punished, and now Havost, he's taking a lot of damage. I actually got the right Havost this time. Alpha Ninja wants to finish off Pashu, but that's what you talked about with that healing ward out. He takes no damage. No one goes down, and here comes a Lich Hole picking off Mag. Seema the Slayer melting before it as well, and they've got the glimpse. BKB? Oh, Jug spun. That's how he gets out of that. And the TP, they actually stopped their TP, I think deciding that Roshan a little bit more important for them to finish off. But just as I was saying, HR had the early lead last game. then Vega immediately took some team fights. Vega this time not taking those team fights and putting themselves further and further behind.
Unfortunately, that fight would have gone amazingly if they had a blink on the Slaughter, because he could have got a 4-5 man crush, but he's just a bit too poor right now. And because of that, I also think the smoke from Hellraisers was... It definitely confused Vega.
Yeah.
It gave them a bit of time as well, which was nice.
Yeah, definitely, you know, it does up your move speed, get them out of the pit a bit faster as a group, and we saw the initiation from Vega. Solo just felt like he was too far out. He snowballed in. He actually stunned a few, which normally would have been good, but as you pointed out, Vega wasn't quite sure where the rest of HR was, so a nice sneaky play there. Medallion is up on Lich as well, so bring in some more armor to their lineup, which is gotta be without armor.
He's a really rich Lich. Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
He has a Ghost Scepter as well, which is ideal this game.
Holy cow, yeah, just picking that up out of nowhere, and it is, as you pointed out, fan-bloody-tastic this game. There are a lot of physical damage, and Pashu Bashu, what are you doing there? I don't think that's your part of town, and he's missed his opportunity to TP. Well, even if he did, there was a clockwork with a hook shot up, so I don't think he could have TP'd.
And there's the Doom bottom.
Yeah, he might actually be in a spot of trouble. Maybe he can take out Mag. Habos taking out Mag. Got my heroes right, but with Seema the Slayer here, there's going to be a shallow grave out onto Mag. Is there support for long enough? And will this Scorched Earth, it's on cooldown. They actually get the slaughter kill with the rocket. Habos, it feels like he's in trouble, but here comes his backup. Can he do anything? Oh, Solo is taking too much damage, and Habos is going to live. Seema the Slayer's going down too. How did he manage to pull that out? He didn't even have Scorched Earth up. He doesn't have life steal. Havos.
He had Scorched Earth up for most of that.
No, well, he did at the beginning, but it went off cooldown. And while it was off cooldown was the entire engagement where his supports were coming down. So I don't know how Habos managed to stay alive there, but he's certainly not Mag in that. We've got one thing straight there.
That's a typical 4 play though, and it managed to work out for him. I think Frostarmo is just carrying him there. He's just going to find him now, but I don't think he can kill him. He can just TP away. Or he can bait him in and maybe kill him.
I don't know if these two can do it though. Oh, Omni Slash. Maybe they can share it. They need it not to bounce onto Havos. And now he's got the Scorched Earth off. He kills the healing ward. Rocket coming in. Havos walking away like the race car he is. And the hook shot onto Pasha Bashu. They kited him. They oh, that was a bait.
Yeah, that's really nice to see Havos playing like...
That was the king of baits.
Yeah, and it was really nice split on the Omni as well, from Mr. YOLO Warrior, aka CO.
Okay, so we
Name's changed for me for some reason.
Oh, you have YOLO Warrior? I still have CO Mag. He has been pushed into not an ideal position, but I think they might just want to focus on this tower. But Ninja realizes Mag is out of position, no blink in sight, and he can't get it. He's gonna be, Lich ultied. That looks horrible. At least it doesn't bounce. Lich probably sad that he doesn't get to farm the creeps, but Mag is down, and they should make easy work of this tower on the lineup of HR if they can find the creeps. Can I just say, they're now officially snowballing. We were at a 5,000 lead about 2 minutes ago, and suddenly they're at almost 14,000 net worth, 14,000 experience as well for HR. Not a lineup for death bowling, but they've just snowballed off the back of a few of those good team fights.
And they're actually managing to take quite a few towers as well, just because the Doom's able to tank like literally a tank. He has Frost Armor, or Ice Armor, sorry. He's also got the Plate Mail up, which I think he's got... Yeah, he's got Shivas coming now.
Shivas, yeah, because he saved up... Oh, yeah, he straight buys it out. Oh, he has it coming. He had saved up about 30,000 gold, and just not generally what you do when you're going for the AC. He would have picked up the smaller pot earlier. Deso is up on Templar Assassin. It feels like they need so much on Vega. The fact that they don't... Oh, they just got the blink. Just got the blink on Mag, right? That's what you were yelling about in that team fight. But Templar Assassin maybe needs one as well, and she is being hook-shotted. Can Shockley get her into a bad position? There's a Doom on her, and they don't need her in a bad position. They're just going to auto-attack her down. It's no one. I've seen some dominant TAs from him, but he is 0, 3, and 0.
That was really nice presence of mind from Satchlo, scouting the Ancient Cell, and also managing to get the cog pushback so she'd get in range of the Doom.
Yeah.
HR is just playing this game like really well. You can tell they're in their comfort zone with the heroes. They're just being able to run at Vega and win the fights.
What do you do here if you're Vega? You're behind. Last time I checked, they had smokes on cooldown. They have one right now, while the lineup of HR also only has one. We've also got, a smoke being held by Seema. It does feel like you potentially have better late game, but Hovost is really far ahead on this Doom.
Yeah, Doom's probably going to be looking for a refresher. Maybe he stops off for something first, but until he gets refresher, you have one hero that's getting doomed, and it's not too bad, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that the Razor's so much bigger than the rest of your heroes right now. However, if HR overextend into Vega's base, they can definitely turn it around, so it's not over yet. They just need to play really carefully.
Yeah, Alpha Ninja almost has the AC. There's a Solar Crest up on Lich. I was concerned about HR's armor, right? Because they're against a Dazzle, they're against a TA, they're against an amplification damage slaughter. Like, I expected them to have no armor, but one, this Lich is rich, as we've talked about, already has a Solar Crest, and they've got so much armor buff coming out from their heroes since they're so far ahead in gold.
Yeah, and Hovost also keeping the ice armor creep. I know I keep saying it, but I feel like so many people would just get another creep. But he really knows how to deal with. Yeah, like, I guarantee you most Dooms would be like, this has served its purpose. I'll get a stun creep or I'll get an Alpha Wolf. But no, Hovost is sticking to it, and he's making it work as well.
CeeLo also has a blink. He could go in here for the glimpse back. It's hard on Pasha Bashu since he'll probably just spin it off. Yeah, we can see it there. But they have the hook shot. They know exactly where he is. And now Shocklo splitting up the team. There's going to be the runaway from Pashu Bashu, but it looks like they should be able to take out Seema the Slayer. Going to just delay things. Maybe Matt going to come back in. Slithering Crush onto 4. But here comes the Lich ult, and keeping you alive maybe wasn't the best play there. Pashu Bashu maybe going to take out. No, they get no one. Shivas comes out and blows them up. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get GG's. I don't know if you saw that, but I definitely thought they were getting the kill onto Shocklo there, and then he just exploded in a explosion of Shivas and everything else coming out of HR.
Yeah, they died an icy death right there between Shivas, Chain Frost. I actually don't think they needed to go for something like that. In the heat of the moment, maybe the captain's like, okay, we need to do something, we're falling really far behind, we don't feel like we can turtle the game out, so they try. So I can understand why they decided for it, but having the vision we did, I feel like they could have tried to hold on and not go for such risky plays.
Yeah. So
It would have been a long shot though, for sure. As soon as HR got an Aegis and just tried to siege, it could have just been racks.
And sometimes it's better just to call it. You know, you've had a really bad time on your mid laner who's used to these dominant performance. Maybe it's just time to call it, go next, see what you can do, see what you can bring with a different draft. So either way, once again, we have been Llama Down Under and PQMZ. This is Star Ladder. We would love your feedback on how to get better. Always trying to bring you better costs. Sorry about the technical issues we had here. This will happen sometimes, and we tried to move on from it. But yeah, we would love your feedback at Llama Down Under, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook.